What should you not say during the best man speech?
Take your pants off.
Technically, that's correct. It says embarrassing stories, exes,
Oh, as if I'm giving this.
or inappropriate joke.
I thought you meant like from the crowd. I thought you meant like someone else is giving the speech. I'm a part of the crowd, and what do I not say? I was like, a lot of things. Anything I would yell would be bad. No, if I'm giving the speech, yeah, you don't want to tell a story that's going to break up the wedding that just happened.
You probably also shouldn't say take your pants off.
You're married. You look married.
We're married. She's married.
So you're single?
Very single.
Single.
Yes, I'm single.
Married or unmarried?
I don't really care whether you're married or single.
Welcome to the Married and Unmarried podcast. I'm Haley. I'm the married one.
I'm Andy, and I am one of the unmarried ones.
One of.
There's a lot of us out there.
I hear there's plenty of fish in the sea.
This has been happening to us as we've had our podcast now. So many people want to join as a guest. We've never had a guest on this podcast. And I think that a lot of them have been saying to me, Haley, they go, oh, Haley's married and you're unmarried and I'm dating someone, so I should come on the podcast.
Yeah, we have a lot of inquiries from people that are like in the in-between stage of Andy and I.
And I love it. I love the interest. But the two buckets are married or unmarried.
Right.
So if you are not wed, if you have not walked down the aisle, which bucket would you be in?
Unmarried.
Everyone else falls in that bucket.
Or if you're divorced,
unmarried,
you fall into the unmarried bucket.
Yeah.
And that's what a lady at Disney World thought the podcast was about. She saw the hats that we have that say married and unmarried. She saw it on me. And she goes, oh, is that you and your ex-husband's podcast? Ma'am.
Wrong.
I was 24 at the time. Not saying you can't be divorced at 24, but...
If you're 24 and divorced, screw you.
If you're 24 and divorced, you can come on the podcast. We have questions.
No, I don't have any questions.
I have lots.
Nope, no questions.
But I think there's so many... I mean, I'm very grateful that so many people want to come on the podcast.
Yeah, very grateful.
But we know who we want our first guest to be, and I think that person's coming very soon.
It's episode 11. Episode 12 is halfway. Mm-hmm. You know what? I think next episode we should have a guest.
I agree. I think that's an appropriate amount of time. Like, we've established your brand, my brand. My brand's taking off. I'm getting inquiries on the side.
What?
To do some work.
No, what work?
Amongst the married community, I'm just asked to like come and be a resource, right? Amongst the community. Show me
the messages.
I can't. I signed at least 3 NDAs.
I disagree. I think they do not exist.
No, they do. I'm just locked into an NDA, and like legally, I don't want to get into it. We actually haven't hired any legal representation for this podcast.
I think you signed an NRA, a not real agreement.
Oh. You know what? I feel like you're just being sassy today. Did somebody put a little bit of like chili flakes in your colonoscopy bag or something?
My what bag?
Oh my God. Oh, I have a question for you. Do you think you're the type of person, because recently there was a big prison break in New Orleans. I don't know if you saw.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Are you the person that is planning the escape, or do you think you're one of the people that's just like cool enough to get invited?
Neither. I think I'm the guy who's in the cell across the hallway, and I'm like, okay, guys, but just so you know, when you get caught, I wasn't a part of this.
And you're just like knitting. Be like, I'll see you when you get back.
I'm going to serve my time, and I'm going to escape when my time's up.
Right. What do you think you're in for? I could tell you what you're in for.
What's that?
You are in for, well, here's the thing. You follow a lot of rules. So I think it would be one of those situations that you've talked about previously where you didn't realize like your car wasn't registered.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And they're like...
An accidental crime.
Yeah, like, and they're like, we got to take you in. Or like, you know how people always said if you remove...
But the cops feel bad about it.
Yeah, and they're like, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry.
You're so handsome, but like, we got to take you in.
Yeah. Knowing you, you'd probably get like a woman cop that's like not attracted to your species. She's like hitting for the other
Not
team.
my species?
The male species. I'm a part of the female species. It's a community thing.
So
You wouldn't
those
understand.
are genders. Species is like human or dog.
I got that dog in me, if you know what I'm saying.
Okay.
Woo woo. But I think that's your crime for sure. It's accidental.
It was a crime of accident.
They feel so bad. They're like, dude, we haven't hit our quota this month.
We gotta
like,
take you, sweet boy.
Like, we're gonna make sure that you like at least get like some Jello when you're on the inside.
I hate Jello.
Really? I did not know that about you.
Yes, I hate Jello.
How long have you hated Jello for?
It's the texture.
Are you like that about like? Do you like yogurt?
Yogurt's fine.
They're the same texture.
No, whoa.
Yes.
Jello is a solid.
So is yogurt.
No, what kind of yogurts are you eating?
Greek?
Those are expired.
No, they're not. I almost
Do
ate
they
one.
have chunks in them?
Greek yogurt has chunks
I
in
don't
it
do
yet.
the chunks. No, that's cottage cheese, Haley.
Are you like a Danimals boy?
I used to love a Danimals. You know what? We were more of a Go-Gurt family.
Yeah, we were Go-Gurts too. Did you freeze yours?
Yeah, we did both.
Oh, we never freezed them.
You were always yogurt?
Yeah.
Yogurt,
Actually,
Go-Gurt?
we were a Trix family. You know the ones that come with the two colors? You could either get
like the purple, red,
purple or blue
pink.
or red and green. And there was a pink and yellow as well.
Yeah, that one was not the move.
No, it's purple blue.
Speaking of
Speaking of yogurt.
speaking of our families, I went home to Ohio
Yes, you did.
recently. I've decided, Haley, this is going to counter a lot of America.
Oh God.
Andy, do not hate Spirit Airlines. I actually kind of like it.
Oh no, Andy.
I actually kind of like it. Here's the thing about Spirit Airlines. The thing about Spirit Airlines is everyone on the plane is just excited to be flying. A lot of them, I've flown it twice now in like 3 weeks. A lot of the people on the plane seem like they've never flown before. Like this is their first time.
Yeah.
The Spirit flight from where I was going was a direct. I love a direct flight, so that's already a little bit of a win. Third, everyone was very nice. Very nice, because they were all just happy to be there. Happy to fly at a low rate. Now, does that happen on every Spirit flight? No. But in the two that I flew, everyone was so nice. The amount of times I've flown one of the other airlines where they are not nice to me, or like, just get on the plane, put your bag up. The Spirit Airlines people were very polite, very kind, and the only real negative is that the plane feels like it's made of rubber, so you feel everything.
Ew.
I was on the wing, and I like watched the wing like flap, and I'm like, I am not supposed to be seeing that.
But like also, you texted me when you were leaving, and because when we went to San Antonio, I accidentally got to the wrong terminal. And so I was in the terminal where Spirit and Frontier were flying out of. And I was like, Andy, this is like third level of the Titanic. You know, the ones that they like just get on the bed and like accept their fate. Like they're not making it on the life raft.
Right.
That's what that terminal was like. And you texted me and you're like, I see what you mean now.
Yeah, the terminal is not lovely. It's very cram-packed. Spirit tries to put a lot of planes in a lot of small space. And I get that. I also understood what I was walking into, so I was kind of like, the thing though is like, this people flying Spirit are not trying to spend airport money.
Yeah,
they don't walk and go stay at another gate. They all stay by the gate they're supposed to be, so it gets kind of crowded. But I think that's a fair trade-off for the direct flight. There's a lot of like people who are working with just the small bags. The first flight I flew, I didn't pay for like picking a seat. I was in the middle, and they moved me to an aisle seat when there was an opening. So I didn't.
Is that what you wanted?
I would prefer a window, but I didn't want to sit in the middle more than I didn't want the aisle seat. So that was a win. The turbulence is crazy. We fly a lot, right?
Yeah.
I fly a lot for sports, and there was at one point where the turbulence hit, and I like looked around. I was like, this might be it.
This might be it. There's been a lot of
I might become a Spirit.
That was good.
Dun, dun,
Dun, dun, dun. We will do your marketing for you, Spirit. But there's been a lot of plane things happening lately, you know,
Yeah.
that I, one, have a lot of respect for pilots because I'm married to one. But two, like, there's just been so many things happening. So I'm just kind of like, you know what? If I get up and down in one piece, who cares if I had to use the barf bag? Who cares if there was the seatbelt flashing light and, you know, the person next to me started, like, reading out the last rites? As long as I get up and down. But I've never Spirit. Flown. The one time that I was going to fly Spirit, it was going to be to Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
But they left without us.
Like,
they couldn't get, like, the bag stuff figured out or whatever. Like, they left, like, at least 500 people in the airport that day. But I'm glad you had a good experience.
I did pull up to the airport terminal to, like, go on one of the planes, and the Spirit plane had just got there, and I glance over, and there's a guy walking, and another man is following him with, like, one of these cameras, like a nice camera and a screen filming him. And I was like, oh, that must be someone, I don't know who that is. That must be a musical artist or an actor or something. And then I thought about it, and I go, if I'm getting off a Spirit flight and having someone film me, I think that's worse than not being known as a music artist or, like, an actor.
Yeah.
It's almost more embarrassing, right?
Right. Like, I know some people that will pay, well, I don't know these people, but, like, I've heard of people that will go to a private airport, pay the same fee that you would pay
just to take video.
Video.
And that makes sense at a private, with, like, a private plane, like, you know, this is me in the PJ, but, like, Spirit Airlines. It was a normal airport too. Like, they weren't flying into a private.
Right.
I was like, what are you possibly filming?
Like, maybe it was the marketing team
for Spirit Airlines. Well, that was not the kid that they should follow. That.
Oh, sorry, you weren't enough star quality. But did you have fun in Ohio with Fam Bam?
It was cool. We went to, my sister and I drove through, have you ever, they might have them in Georgia, I wouldn't be shocked, a gas station with a drive-through?
Yeah.
When you drive through there, is it like a McDonald's drive-through where there's a window, or is someone standing in the drive-through waiting to grab your things?
Oh, wait, I've been to gas stations where, like, a Wendy's or a McDonald's is attached. Is this a drive-through for the convenience store?
Yes.
Oh, we don't have those to my knowledge in Georgia.
Yeah, the gas station has a drive-through part where you go under a roof, and there's a man, and you tell him what you want, and he gets it from the cases for you, which was tricky because my sister lives in California. I live, obviously, here in Florida. I wanted my orange Celsius, and she wanted, like, a specific Starbucks drink, and this guy could not figure it out. I was like, I'll take an orange Celsius, and he walks over and grabs the wrong one. I go, no, the orange one. He grabs the big orange one, and I go, no, the orange one. He goes, this one? I go, yeah, and then he brings it over to me. My sister goes, the Starbucks drink, and he goes, this one, no, that one right there. Which one? That one right there. This one? No. That one? Yes. Okay, here you go. And then you have to give him your card, and then he rings it up. And my sister and I, we get our drinks, we buy them, we start driving away, and I go, it would have been much quicker and easier had we just parked and walked in and got what we wanted.
Yeah, that's on y'all. Whose idea was it to go through the drive-thru?
My sister's, but I think it was on...
Oh, then that's fine. She's allowed to make that judgment call. I like your sister.
Which one was it?
Alex.
Lucky guess.
Shout out, Alex.
Lucky guess. We actually, this is off topic. I don't have this on the agenda, but we went to a Benihana. You know what that is?
Sushi?
No, fast food hibachi.
That's a thing?
Oh, it's so good.
Not everything needs to be drive-through.
Well, it's not like fast food. A chain restaurant hibachi.
Oh, okay.
In, like, the
Northeast.
Northeast.
Like, I don't know about that.
It's gas, so good. And Alex orders a steak, and so the immediate follow-up is...
What temperature?
How would you like it cooked?
Yeah, what temperature?
No one says what temperature.
Andy.
What are you going to say, 180?
No, you're going to say rare, medium
Yeah,
rare.
that's how you want it cooked. That's not temperature.
That is the temperature.
No. Wrong. Anyways, she goes, I'll take the filet or whatever. And the lady goes, how would you like that cooked? And she goes, and I go, what's your problem? How do you want it cooked?
Right.
That's the immediate question after a steak.
Yeah.
She goes,
because he didn't ask what temperature it needs to be.
That was
she
not
was
it.
thrown off.
No, because she says whatever she wants. The lady walks away, and I go, what was that? And she goes, I don't know. And I go, have you never ordered a steak before? She goes, no, I have. And I go, did you not know how you wanted it? Because usually people do the same thing every time. She goes, no, I did know. I go, what took you so long? It was the most awkward ordering
because
of
they
a steak.
didn't ask her what temperature.
No
Andy.
one says what temperature.
Yes, they do.
No, they do not.
The next time it happens, I'm gonna call you unless you're there with me, and I'm gonna be like, see. Do you know how often we go to Fogo de Chao and they
Twice in my life, and the second time you cut me off.
I did. We need to go back to Fogo de Chao. It's been 2 months, so that's an appropriate amount of time in between.
Fogo de Chao, please sponsor us.
Please. Oh my gosh.
Ooh, podcast from the Fogo?
I would, whatever you need us to do, we would probably pay you to be able to film in the Fogo.
That would be baller.
It'd be great. And I really
My
want...
card would stay on green.
The whole time. Like, we could make it a challenge.
A mukbang.
A mukbang. It's mukbang.
Oh, sorry.
Obviously. But the only thing is I don't eat pork, so, like, Andy's going to have to cover all of that.
Ooh, yeah, reviews. Oh,
Here's my thing. Like, why do you do a bacon-wrapped pork chop? Like, you don't do a ground beef-wrapped ribeye. You can't, like, double meat it like that.
Why is the sky blue? Why do rainbows make me smile?
But you don't, like,
wrap... A bacon-wrapped pork chop is an American treasure.
Yeah, I know. It's gluttonous.
Let me ask you a question. Do you like bacon? No,
yeah, wrong person.
This won't work for you. Last time we went to Fogo de Chao, you didn't take me to get ice cream.
No.
You know where I did get ice cream? When I went to Athens, Georgia for our softball tournament.
Did you get ice cream there?
For 48 hours for. We did. We went to a lovely place. I don't know if you've ever been to it. It's called Andy's Custard. I'm Andy.
Were you so excited?
It was cool. I've been to one before.
Oh.
So me and two of our staff friends go, and I let them go first, and I'm waiting for my turn to order my ice cream.
At your custard shop.
There's one guy working the counter, and we made jokes. We're like, do you know who this is? This is Andy. It's his, you should, give us our ice cream for free.
He owns the custard.
But I'm third in line, and I'm waiting, and there's one guy working the register, and he serves our first friend, and then he's serving our second friend, and I'm like, we had a long day, we were tired, and then we had to leave the next day.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, and I'm just doing this, and like blowing that air out of my mouth, and I think the guy thought that I was like angry that it was taking so long, because he's like, okay, that'll be $4.75. He moves over to the next register that he's not using and goes, sir, I can help you right here. And I'm like, okay. And I move over before our friend is finished paying.
Why were you so rude to the man the only guy that was, let me tell you something. I respect you, whoever you are.
Ice cream man.
I mean, when I saw Andy doing that too, I would probably be like, yo, what's your deal? Like,
it's my custard store.
I was about to say, like, you're the owner of the custard store. Like, you could chill for a second.
Bring me my custard.
What is custard? Like,
there's someone scientific is going to burn us on the TikTok, but they're just different forms of ice cream.
Why didn't I start with this? Do you know what's back?
The Muffin Man.
Oh.
Sorry.
The Muffin Man!
Not the gumdrop buttons.
Do you know the Muffin Man?
I like the big muffin, or the big gingerbread.
Oh, where he's like,
good not the gumdrop buttons. Sorry.
Why are we like
Continue.
this? But Zaxby's brought back their birthday cake milkshake. And I did not know. I used to get one of those, sometimes two, a week in high school.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I didn't realize those are like 990 calories. But I was like, I started working when I was 16. The very little money I had on my debit card, swipe, I'm going to Zaxby's. Getting that birthday cake milkshake.
One thing I don't like about Zaxby's is that they call it a salad.
I love that they call it.
Call it a Zax salad. You don't need, the S does not need to be replaced.
When I go up to the drive-thru, because that's all I get at Zaxby's.
A salad.
Because I don't like their chicken very much, sorry. But, like, I will be like, can I get the salad? Like, I over-exaggerate the C.
Bring me the salad, Zaddy.
I need the house salad.
The salad, Zaddy.
Yeah, you can fry that chicken, because I'm getting a salad.
A salad.
Because I'm so healthy.
Bring me that sweet and sour sauce.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, so I will be.
Zaxby's, we're coming for you.
I'm gaining a lot of weight
We're coming
this
for
time.
you, and we're coming for Fogo de Chao.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait for the hot girl summer that is just us eating.
I'm gonna eat the faux gallet. No, didn't work.
No, didn't work. Salad.
Salad. One time, this is a funny story. One time I matched with this girl on a dating app, right? This was like a year ago, so I feel like I can tell this story now.
Safe.
And we only went on one date. I went on a date with this girl, and her profile's nice. She looked cute. And I go on this date with her, and I get there, and she looks like the spitting image of someone that we used to work with that like left a year earlier.
Whoa.
And I was like, it literally threw me off. I was
Did you think it was that person?
So her dating profile did not look like that. She didn't look like I could see where I just didn't see it.
Yeah.
But it, like, in person, spitting image.
Somebody called catfish.
It threw me off for like the whole evening because I was like, you look just like this other, but I wasn't gonna say you look just like this other person.
Yeah.
Have you seen two people who look alike before? And if this is a big hypothetical, if you were an unmarried,
Yeah.
would it be more or less likely that you would see someone if they look like someone else you knew?
Can you repeat the question?
Like, me and that girl did not work out for other reasons, but would it have been, like, would I have, let me think how I'm trying to get this question
Can you use it in a sentence?
Zalad. Like, would it have been weird if I continued to see her because she looked like the other girl?
If that's the reason you're continuing to see someone, then yeah.
Well, okay, yes. I mean, like, would it have been weird if I dated her and then one of our other coworkers who knew the other girl was like, what the?
Yeah, like, maybe. But then, like, you just have to get over it, I guess. Unless that person's, like, an identical twin.
Oh, gosh.
And then you're like, were you separated at birth? And then you get into, like, the whole, you have to, like, go to the family reunion. And then you're like, oh, my gosh, I think that's an identical twin that was separated at birth. And then you have to call Dateline or, like, 60 Minutes and sit down and do the interview. And then Chris Harrison with How to Catch a Predator comes. And it's just, like, a lot.
Have you been through that before?
No.
Too many times.
Chris, call me. I'm just kidding. I think
that brought up a sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say I think everyone does have a doppelganger. They say there's like 6 people in the world that look like you.
Those
that look like Andy.
Lucky boys.
Who do you think, like, is there somebody celebrity-wise that you think you look like?
Oh, well, Michael B. Jordan sticks out.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Bert Kreischer.
Yeah.
Not really, other than those 4.
I have gotten on 3 occasions by, like, I've got it once when I was working a baseball game. My dad was another person, and then somebody at the St. John's Town Center, wherever that mall is, I think that's Jacksonville, have said I look like Cameron Diaz. How random is that?
How inaccurate is that?
I know. And like I have stared at
She's blonde.
And I have stared at Cameron Diaz's face. You could not even comprehend how long I have sat and looked at her face.
Interesting.
And been like, because two of those three people were strangers. One of them was my father. I don't see it. Like maybe when I had like a little bit more like weight on me and I had a rounder face. I don't know. I don't think I look like anybody famous, but it's just so weird. Like if I had 2 nickels, or if I had a nickel for every time someone said that, I'd have 3 nickels.
Speaking of nickels, I think you kind of look like Thomas Jefferson.
Is it my colonial ponytail? I love a colonial pony. All the hot girls wear colonial ponytails.
Colonials.
Colonial.
Colonies?
Colonies.
That's what it is. Zalad. That brought up a good question that we had once in our friend group. Very stupid. If there was a clone of you, like here right now, would you give him a little kiss?
Yeah, because I'm a good kisser.
You would kiss your clone?
Well, she's a girl, so I'd kiss her on the cheek.
Yeah, fair. Okay, if there was a clone of you that was a man,
Yeah.
you'd be about it?
Yeah.
Okay. I would not. I think that's weird.
You wouldn't kiss the girl version of yourself?
No, I don't think so.
Why? Because she'd have a beard?
Oh, she's the girl version, probably not.
Jimmy Neutron.
For me.
Yeah, that's who you're replacing.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Especially when my hair is long. It's kind of short right now, but when it's long, yeah. Absolutely. I've heard that one before. That's funny.
Got a blast.
That's funny.
I'll be Sheen. You know when Sheen got the big brain?
Yeah. Oh, that my favorite character on that show was Carl.
Carl Weezer.
My sisters and I liked the fact that he was obsessed with Jimmy's mom. So we'll be playing Call of Duty, and I'll just every once in a while go, Jimmy's mom. And Caroline hates it. She goes, stop it. And I go, Jimmy's mom.
Why are you actually Carl Weezer?
I don't think so. I don't think I'm there quite yet.
No. But like, did you play him?
Jimmy's mom.
I think, Andy, that's why you got this sick condo, because you took all your Jimmy's Neutron money and bought this condo.
Are you impressed? Jimmy's mom.
Okay. I'm never going to name my son Jimmy now, because then I'd be Jimmy's mom.
You can't do Stacy either.
Stacy's mom.
You put this on the agenda. You want to play something called the wedding etiquette game, so
I do.
Take it away.
I'll tell you why. So I got married 2023.
What?
I got married 2023.
I thought I was the married one in this podcast.
Oops. Time for a rebrand. And I've been to weddings since our wedding. It's actually so much more fun when you go with your husband or wife. Anyway, but all of the weddings I've gone to have been like pretty much the same, like theme, attire,
People
time of
getting
year.
married, yeah.
Right. But this is our first black tie wedding since ours. Like we had a black tie wedding. You were there. But I didn't have to worry about what to wear.
I bought a new suit for that.
Oh, really?
Shout out Amazon.
That's adorable. I did not get my wedding dress from Amazon.
Lame.
But like I didn't have to worry about what to wear. So like the past like couple of weeks, and I've known about this wedding for a long time, like 9-ish months. Thomas is in the wedding, so I feel like I really have to take the theme seriously, right? Well, I learned so much about wedding etiquette, and I wanted to test your knowledge on wedding etiquette. Wetiquette. So I'm going to...
Zalad. Oh,
Zalad. I'm going to ask you a question, and you're going to tell me your response.
Okay.
Like what you think the answer is.
Can you give me a sample response? Like an example? Or you just want to dive in?
I'm just going to dive in.
I'll fly blind.
Okay. How much should you spend on a wedding gift? What would traditional wedding etiquette tell you to spend?
Depends on how much I know the person. If I'm good friends with the person, I usually do between... So I like to look at if they have a registry, I'll look. And if there's something that like is a good gift or like would make sense from me, then I will buy that and not really worry about like if it's too like I'll do less if it's something that's on the registry.
Yeah.
If it was just straight cash, I'm aiming between like $50 and $100.
That was really good.
Thank you.
So etiquette tells you to spend...
Invite me to your wedding.
I still remember what Andy got us for our wedding. It was a pillow. It was a Euro pillow sham from my wedding registry, and he got us these little clear containers for us to put like floss and Q-tips in.
I just went on the registry and I clicked some shit.
And I was like, "Thanks, Andy." And I think you got us a cookbook too.
You said, "I remember what Andy got us," and I went, "I bought something good for me."
Good for you. You bought us a couple gifts from the registry.
Do not remember that.
But wedding etiquette would tell you to spend around $50 to $150 depending on how close you are. So just like you said.
Let's go. I am on it.
You're on it. Zalad, can you propose at someone else's wedding?
No, you should not do that. And even if I'm wrong, don't care. You should not do that. It's someone else's special day. Doesn't matter how close you are. You want to do it the next morning, go for it. The sun rises and it's a different day, but no chance.
You're correct. These were all from like ChatGPT, and their response was, etiquette would say absolutely not. Zalad, you're 2 for 2. What's the polite time to leave a wedding reception?
You gotta stay for cake. Is it an open bar or a closed bar? If it's an open bar, I mean, whenever they kick you out. If you gotta pay for those drinks, whenever someone else says, let's hit the bars. After dinner, after cake, maybe like as you see the dance floor start to like dwindle a little bit.
You did have it right. Your initial answer was etiquette would tell you after the cake cutting is an appropriate time to leave. Unless
any time after the cake cutting?
Anytime after the
That's
cake cutting.
yeah.
Unless they have a send-off.
Yeah, I'm still on it.
Yeah.
The send-off, I think...
That was more of like that's not like proper etiquette.
At times, slightly overrated.
Yeah, that's more of like a last minute, or not a last minute, more of a current trend. Mm-hmm. But like traditional wedding etiquette would say you leave after cake cutting.
I think it also depends on the time. If the reception starts at like 7 or 8 or 9 and you're getting into the evening,
yeah,
if I don't want to stay for the send-off, I'm not staying. But I've been to like some family weddings where the reception's at like 5 or 6 and is done by 8, and like that's like, yeah, I'll stay for the send-off because like what else am I gonna do? Right.
Yeah, absolutely. You're doing really good.
I'm the best at weddings. No one ever invites me, but I'm good when I'm there. I know. I've been to one.
That we're your only wedding? Oh.
I've been to a couple, but like not a lot. There's some people, I know some people who every like 2 weekends they're like, I got another wedding. I'm like, how do you know all these people?
Yeah, we have friends like that too, I think that's not us.
I'm a fringe friend for a lot of people. Oh. I think there's been a lot of weddings that I don't get invited to, and that's fine. I'm not knocking it or upset about it. But I think there's oftentimes where like someone will have a wedding and I go, oh, I did not get invited to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're like, oh, got it.
That's all right.
And that's fine because, you know, in today's economy,
I'm most upset about the cake. That's really what I would love to go for. You know, I guess, you know, celebrate your love or whatever, but like.
And to catch the bouquet.
I'm not catching that.
Well, technically you would catch the garter.
Good pass, you know.
I didn't want to do that. I had a garter, but I didn't.
Don't like it. I don't like
either.
That trend. I think we should change it out for like, I don't know, like a chocolate bar.
Yeah, I was so adamant about that.
Everyone get behind me. I'm tossing the Zalad over my head.
The salad.
Catch the Zalad.
Catch it. Okay, what should you not say during the best man speech?
Take your pants off.
Technically, that's correct. It says embarrassing stories, exes.
Oh, as if I'm giving a speech.
Or inappropriate show.
I thought you meant like from the crowd. I thought you meant like someone else is giving the speech. I'm a part of the crowd, and what do I not say? I was like, a lot of things. Anything I would yell would be bad. No, if I'm giving the speech, yeah, you don't want to tell a story that's going to break up the wedding that just happened.
You probably also shouldn't say take your pants off.
Well, actually, no, probably not. All right, fair enough.
That's for the next.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I gave the best man speech at my dad's wedding.
What? That is so sweet. Did you say take your pants off?
No, I didn't. It was a really funny speech. I actually killed it. The funniest part was, so before I give the best man speech at my dad's wedding, I said to my sister, I said, hey, are you going to would you record this? She's like, oh yeah, I was already going to videotape it. I go, great, thank you so much. I do the whole speech. I go back. I go, did you get the video of it? She goes, oh no, I only recorded the first 3 seconds when you introduced yourself. I go, I don't need that. So it's gone forever. I still have the
script
speech somewhere online, but I was very upset because I put a lot of work into making it funny. Because my dad's a very funny guy.
So yeah, I feel like you had to rise to the occasion. I'm glad you said don't take your pants off.
I said, keep those pants on.
We don't need any more siblings, Dad. Okay, 2 more. What's the rule on eating before the bride and groom?
I feel like they shouldn't serve food before the bride and groom get
That's correct. You're so good at this. Or maybe this is just all common sense. But it says you should wait until the bride and groom have either started eating or until they've been served.
Like papers for a lawsuit?
Yeah.
Got it. They've been served. Everyone eat.
Zalad. Okay, last one. This is more of a Southern tradition, so I am going to be eager to see if you get this or not.
Butter.
Can you bring casserole to the bride's house the morning of the wedding?
The morning of the wedding? Like the morning before the wedding or the morning after? The morning of the wedding.
The morning of the wedding.
Good morning, it's your special day. Green bean for you.
Can you bring a casserole to the bride's house the morning of the wedding?
It's probably some dumb Southern tradition that wishes them good luck by bringing them a casserole and, filling it with, I brought you a butter bean casserole, so I'm going to go with yes.
Only if you're close family or in the bridal party. Now, I will say, I don't know if I've talked about it on the podcast, but it rained on our wedding day. And one of my mom's patients, we got back from our honeymoon in Costa Rica, and my mom gifts Thomas and I this moonshine jar of clear liquid. And she goes, here you go. This is a wedding gift from one of my patients. And I was like, what is this? And she goes, it's rainwater from your wedding. She specifically wants you and Thomas to baptize your children with the water. So Thomas and I got married 2023. I've forgotten about this. We recently went to my parents' house for Mother's Day. We go in the dining room and Thomas goes, oh no. And he looks over and it's our baptismal
the wedding water.
But it's started to grow algae.
Good.
So
heck yeah. Just skim that off the top, plop the baby right on down.
What a life that baby will live.
Building up immunity, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, they're going to need it.
Was that all?
Yeah, that was it.
I think I crushed that.
You did
game.
very, very good. The only one you didn't get was the Southern one.
The casserole. I deserve a Zalad for getting all those right.
You do deserve a Zalad, and you deserve a ticket not on Spirit Airlines.
All right, let's play our favorite game.
I'm ready.
Married or unmarried? Which one is it more?
Okay.
Watching closely on the temperature on the thermostat.
Ooh, married. Thomas is on that nobody's business. Whereas when I was single, I would jack that thing down to 62.
62? What are you, living in a refrigerator?
Yeah, that's how I liked it. But
oh my gosh.
You can't.
Are you one of the people who will jack it down to 62 and then wear a bunch of one hoodie, 3 blankets, and it's what are we doing here?
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
Oh my gosh.
Thomas likes it at 73, 74.
A respectable temperature?
Way too hot.
I aim for 71, 72 if I'm picking.
No. That's why it's unmarried. That's why it's married.
I'm going to go married as well. I think the second you get married, you're just like...
Compromise. Men and women have two
temperature.
different internal body temperatures.
Ooh, have you seen those beds where like you get the thing
yes.
and you put it on? I want one of those.
I want one too.
Second one, gardening.
I'm going to go married, but like I don't do it. My husband does.
I would also go married.
He's really passionate about it. He wants to be a master gardener, and he started to listen to gardening podcasts.
Oh, well, he's taking time from our podcast. I don't like that. Third one, golf.
Unmarried.
I agree, also unmarried. I love to golf. Big fan.
I also love to golf. I'm not very good at it, but like when I've gone to play golf, it's with a bunch of unmarried people.
Why you gotta say it like that?
I'm just,
a bunch of unmarried people.
That's for you and your species.
How dare you? There's so many people that are unmarried. I don't like the hands on the hip.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Seems a little aggressive. Last one, making yourself a nice dinner.
Unmarried. When you're married, it's just like, all right, I need a protein, a carb, and a vegetable. When you're like, and also like you chef it up. I was bragging on your chef skills the other day to somebody.
Yeah, I like to cook, but I try and cook like do one thing and then have 2 or 3 meals out of it.
But also like when I have a bad day, I can go home to like my husband. When you have a bad day, you're like, I'm gonna treat myself to a nice meal.
DoorDash. Oh.
DoorDash.
A salad. No, I gotta make a nice food. I like food. Food's important to me, although my doctor in a day or two will probably tell me that I need to eat healthier.
Because Andy did pass out taking his blood. Was it today?
Thank you for, yes, it was this morning.
I found out via LinkedIn DMs.
Well, technically I sent a Snapchat to our group of friends before that, but you didn't open it.
I don't have my Snapchat notifications turned on, but I do have my LinkedIn notifications turned on.
Yeah, they were taking my blood for my labs, and it was kind of weird. They do the first 3 vials of it pretty seamlessly. And the lady,
that's a lot.
I sit down.
The phlebotomist, that's what she is.
I sit down, and the lady is like all business. Because I try and talk to him, because I don't want to focus on what's going on.
Yeah, I don't like
I want you
either.
to distract me. So I try and talk to them to like, and this lady was like, one-word answers not helping. And I was like, okay, I got to just like do this.
You had to thug it out.
And she goes, all right, we need 4 vials. And I go, oh my gosh, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
She sets the tin on the table in front of me. So I'm staring at
everything.
And she's got my arms. They go through 3 vials. And I'm like, that's a lot, but I'm doing all right.
You're being so brave.
And then she's doing the 4th. And I kind of take a glance at it. And then all I think is, oh, I'm getting a little lightheaded. And then the next thing I remember is I like am panicking in my brain, but I can't figure out why I'm like panicking. And I go, I'm kind of lightheaded, and then I saw the like little black fuzzies come on the side of your eyes.
Yeah, try to get that tunnel vision.
The next thing I'm like panicking, don't know why, can't figure it out. Like, did I forget something at work? What's going on? And then all I hear is one of the male nurses going, "Can you sit up? Can you sit up?" And I go, I am sitting up. And then I was like, I'm not sitting up. I'm like slid down. And I go, yeah, why am I slid down? And then I like sit up, and there's like 4 of them staring at me. And one of them's got the cold pack on me. And I'm like, oh my God, what happened?
And they're like, you pass out.
And then I profusely apologized 5 to 7 times.
Well, that is kind of on them. Like, they should have made
I don't think it's on anyone. I think it's just it's happened to my sister before. It's actually not, they said it was common. I don't think it's common, but it's not like, it's not technically indicative of anything that happened or anything that's like medically wrong. It's just something that happens every once in a while.
Sometimes you just pass out a little bit.
We're close to time, so I'll try and tell the story quick. Have I ever told you the story of when I was in kindergarten?
Uh-uh.
So in kindergarten, they brought cow parts to show the kids to like get us to learn about the body. So it was like an eyeball and a tongue.
That's why I'll never live in Ohio.
And they like let the parents know they were doing this in advance. So I come home from school and I'm beep bopping, and my mom's like, "Hey Andy, how were the body parts at school?" And I go, "Body parts?" And she goes, "Yeah, did you see some body parts?" And I go, "Oh, not really. Me and my teacher went for a walk in the parking lot." And so my mom calls the kindergarten teacher, and she goes, "Mrs. Teacher, so I hear my son's not going to be a doctor." And she goes, "No, he was getting pretty pale, so we took him outside."
They took him outside.
So I was looking at the eyeball apparently, and I was like, and just like pale, and they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna take this one outside."
"Hey, come out here. Look at this parking lot."
So I went out to the parking lot and took a little walk.
And you were so brave in that parking lot.
I was the best.
And then as a reward, you got a Zalad.
A Zalad, and then all these years later, I got my blood taken, and I took a little nap.
A CP.
I'd take a little nap.
A little nap right here.
And then I drove right to work and
then he DM'd me on LinkedIn.
Thugged it out for the rest of the day. First of all, you DM'd me first.
That's true.
I just responded. And you yelled at me.
I did. All caps.
I don't deserve that.
Well, I'm here to say I'm sorry for yelling at you on LinkedIn DMs, but I love you, dog.
Love you, dog.